Hello, Keith Rucker here at VintageMachinery.org. Guys, today got a little odds and ends video that we're going to be putting together for you. I have got a table full of stuff over here I want to share with you. A lot of this is purchases, things that I've picked up over the last month or two since we've done one of these. Been to a couple events. I've also got some viewer mail on here, and I also want to talk about several upcoming events that we've got coming up where I'm going to be traveling to some different places, doing some events, and it's an opportunity for meet and greets and opportunities for you guys to come out and see me and some other YouTubers and see some other cool things. So let's get into it. Let's start off with upcoming events. So first off, February 22nd through 25th down in Florida, near Avon Park, Florida, we have the annual Florida Flywheelers shows. This is a big kind of tractor engine show that they do every year. It's a huge show. But one of the big attractions at that is a huge swap meet where people bring in all kinds of really cool stuff. They have it out, for sale or what have you. I have really enjoyed going to this event over the past probably 4 or 5 years. And again, this year, the Florida Flywheelers is having a special meet and greet opportunity where they're going to have multiple YouTubers, such as myself, coming in and have an opportunity for, meet up with our different fans. So the meet and greet is going to be on Saturday, February 25th. This is 2023. At the Florida Flywheeler Show. It'll be at 1:00 p.m. at the machine shop on the showgrounds. And if you need to know where that is, if you ask any of the club people, they can tell you how to get by there. It's a big showground. But at 1 p.m., there will be several of us guys in the YouTube machinist community. I don't have a full list of everybody that's coming right now. I'll try to get that information out beforehand. I do know that myself, let's see, I know Jim Bollinger. I've heard Clark Easterling, my foundry guy's coming over. Mike Wiggins is going to be there. Mark Winquist up in Tennessee. Billy Hutchison's up there. He's coming. Beyond that right now, I feel like there's others that were going to be there. Almost certain there's others that are going to be there. That's kind of who I'm remembering off the top of my head, who I have seen reply that they're going to be there. But there's going to be some other folks there as well. So it's a great opportunity for, to shake your hand, get to meet you. It's a Southeast event, and you get to go to this awesome show and swap meet and be able to probably find some new treasures for yourself to take home. So hopefully some of you guys can come out. The weather is usually very nice in late February down in Central Florida. Where this event's at, and it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I really enjoy it. Event number 2 is going to be March 11th and 12th, and I have been invited to come up and be the guest speaker at the Midwest Tool Collectors Association's one of their swap meets that they do. This one's going to be at McCormick's Creek State Park in Spencer, Indiana. Again, what I'm going to probably be talking about is kind of the history of the Vintage Machinery website, as well as the YouTube channel, kind of how it all got started, a little bit about some of the projects we've done over the years, and just talking about how all this really kind of evolved over the past 20 or so years with VintageMachinery.org. So anyway, I'm looking forward to that. That's a big tool show, so the Midwest Tool Collectors Association, basically guys will be bringing in, they'll have tables where they'll have all kinds of antique tools for sale. And I really enjoy doing those. In fact, I just got back, and a lot of the stuff I'm going to be showing you today is from the Midwest Tool Collectors Peach Meet that they do in Madison, Georgia every year, which they had literally got back from it yesterday when I'm filming this. I picked up a bunch of really cool stuff there, and I always look forward to going to that tool meet every year. I've been to a couple of other Midwest Tool Collectors Association meets over the years, but really looking forward to going up to McCormick's Creek State Park. Again, those dates are March 11th and 12th. If you're interested in that, I would go check out the Midwest Tool Collectors Association's website. It's MWTCA.org. And they do have an events page where you can see the different tool shows that they have all around the country, when they are. Even if you're not able to come to this one, there may be one close to you that you could go to. You pretty much need to be a member of MWTCA, I think, to attend these, but it's not very expensive to join the club, and really a lot of neat benefits come out of that as well. So hope again to see many of you up at McCormick's Creek State Park. MWTCA meet March 11th and 12th. I think that's a Saturday and Sunday. My talk, I think, is going to be on Saturday. They told me what time. I think it's going to like right after lunch or something. That may not be right, but it's going to be somewhere close to that. But hoping to see again many of you there. The third event that I want to share with everybody is on Saturday, April 1st, right here in Tifton, Georgia, where I live at. The Georgia Museum of Agriculture, which I do a lot of volunteer work with, will be having their annual Folklife Festival. Now, this is probably the biggest kind of event slash show, whatever you want to call it, that our museum does every year, and it really is kind of an all hands on deck event. And, you know, I often tell people, you know, if you only have one day that you can come a year, this is probably the day you want to come, because it's the day when they have really the most things going on. Lots of different exhibits, lots of different interpreters out there talking about different things. And it's also the one day a year that the museum fires their wood-fired turpentine steel and actually goes through the process of making turpentine, which was a major industry down here in the South and the coastal plains, from probably up in Virginia, North Carolina, all the way across to Texas back in the day, and where they would go tap the or get the gum out of the pine trees. They would put a wound on the tree and collect the gum off of those, and then carry that into a still and literally cook off the turpentine and end up with the rosin. The rosin was used in the naval storage industry and the wooden shipbuilding industry back in the day. And of course, you got the turpentine as well. Our museum has one of only 2 wood-fired turpentine stills that are still operational in the country. And actually, David King, who is one of our employees at the museum, he actually operates both of those stills. He's one of the last people out there that really knows how to do this. And anyway, I always look forward to it. I will be working at the steam-powered sawmill that day, or at least that's the plan right now. We'll have, of course, a steam locomotive going. There'll be the blacksmith shop going, the grist mill. They're usually doing sheep shearing. They got, like I said, just lots of different things going on throughout the historic village. Again, the date on that is Saturday, April 1st, and that's at the Georgia Museum of Agriculture here in Tiff, Georgia. So there's some opportunities where I'm going to be traveling around doing some different events. If you can come to any of those or have any desire to come to any of them, hope to see you there. So anyway, there you go. Let's get over here and take a look at some of the items that we've got to show you guys. First item I want to share with you, it is actually something that I purchased. It's not a gift. I wish it was, but this is something that I've actually been on the lookout for a while. I've been looking for a nice pocket knife that I can carry around in my pocket, and really was wanting to get a custom-made knife. And after a lot of looking back and forth, I finally reached out to Jim McGinn, who's in Texas. And Jim, I follow his Facebook feed and see the knives that he's making all the time, and I told him what I was kind of looking for to see if he had anything available. And sure enough, he came up with this beautiful pocket knife here that I was able to purchase from him. You can see it is just absolutely gorgeous. Damascus steel blade. Not sure what kind of wood that is. He probably told me, but I don't remember. But it is absolute beauty. I believe that Jim was on Forged in Fire, season 5, episode 12. He participated in that show that I know many of you guys watch. But really tickled to pick this up. Like I said, I reached out to him, asked if he had anything, and this is probably too fancy to carry around in my pocket, but that's what I'm going to do with it. I firmly believe with tools that tools are meant to be used. So I consider a pocket knife a tool, and I intend to use this. This is now my carrying pocket knife that I carry around with me. Not for protection, but again, you just use a pocket knife multiple times a day for all kinds of things. And the one I had a pocket knife that I've been carrying for probably 15 years. It was an El Cheapo off the shelf. I think it was made in China even. I was embarrassed to carry it, but it held up well. Started kind of getting tattered, and I said, you know what, it's time to have a nice pocket knife. And Jim really helped me out to fill the bill. So anyway, like I said, this is one I purchased and glad to be carrying it. I did want to show it to you guys, and check out his he's on Facebook. Like I said, a lot of his work he shows there. So if you want to kind of see some examples of some of the beautiful knives he's done, most of them are way fancier than this. Go check out his Facebook page. Up next comes from Jack Carrington, and Jack sent in some machinery manuals and stuff. As you guys probably know if you watch my channel a lot, I operate the VintageMachinery.org website, and one of the things we do over there is we have scanned copies of tens of thousands of old catalogs and brochures, and manuals, etc., on all kinds of vintage machinery, and that's a service that we provide. It's free. You can go check out the website and look up information on a lot of old machines. And he sent in some stuff that he had collected here to be scanned, some Powermatic, Craftsman, just some miscellaneous stuff here. So we'll go through these and figure out what needs to be added to the site, what's not currently already up on the site, and we'll get these things scanned in and available. I imagine some of these are probably already on there, and of course we're not going to rescan something that's there, but if there's something new, we'll definitely get it added up at some point in time. Up next, this comes from P. Shelby up in Maryland, and he again had some stuff for the website. Got a catalog here from the Van Dusen Gas and Engine Company out of Cincinnati, Ohio. This is an old March 1895. That is an old one. So we do have a lot of gas and steam engines on there, and this is pretty cool. The Lever, 1910, a magazine for automobile owners. So that'd be cool to take a look at as well. So we'll get these scanned and up on there as well. And from a mystery viewer from Tucson, Arizona, or somewhere close to that based on the postmark on the box, it did not say who this was from. It just had a note in there. It said, for my collection. Little leather thing here, and inside of it, when we pull it out, it's in there tight. J&L. So useful information for businessmen, mechanics, and engineers. The Jones and Laughlin Steel Corporation out of Pittsburgh. So this is just, it's almost like a little machinery's handbook with all kinds of tables of information, but this is mostly like about steel and building materials like that. So pretty cool. Neat little mini book. That is really cool. And like I said, it comes in this little leather pouch that holds it. That was fancy back in the day. Really cool. Thank you to the mystery person. Also, some more books here. These came from Charles Felice in Salt Lake City, Utah. He said he was going through he said his stepfather was a machinist, and he's now settling his late mother and stepfather's estate, and came across these books that thought I might be interested in. So I got the Theory and Application of Precision Mechanical Components, and these books here, Ingenious Mechanisms for Designers and Vendors. These are really cool books. I've actually got, I don't know that I got a full set of them, but I got one or two different volumes over the years, and they just have all these different mechanisms, and they're just really cool, and it's just a collection of those in these books. So really cool to have these, and glad to have them in the shop here. So we'll be adding these to the library, and Charles, thanks for sending those along. So next item here comes from my friends over at Blacksmith Supply Company. They had reached out to me a while back. In fact, this should have been in my last odds and ends video, and it just kind of got misplaced in the shop, and I didn't remember to include it. But they had a bunch of this pig mat material, and I want to know if I could use any. And if you're not familiar with pig mat, this is a very absorptive material that you can use to soak up oil spills, whatever, around the shop. I got a box. Mine is almost empty. I was actually about to the point where I was needing to order some more of this stuff, but it's really handy. Like I said, if you got something that's leaking oil or whatever, you can put this down there and it just absorbs it right up. I even sometimes when I'm working on like my milling machine or something, if I'm putting cutting oil on it. I might put this up underneath the part just to kind of catch the chips and the oil to keep it from getting everywhere. So anyway, they had a bunch and wanted to know if I could use some. I said yes, and they sent me a whole box full of this, which is, like I said, totally awesome, because I was getting low and was needing to get some ordered. Now I got enough to last me a while longer. So big, huge thank you to these guys. They also include one of their little catalogs in here. If you are a blacksmith and need tools and stuff, they've got all kinds of different modern, newly made blacksmith tools and tooling that you can order if you're a blacksmith and into that kind of stuff. So cool stuff. Thank you very much for sending that along. Next item here is an item I picked up from my buddy Nilts Lima. Nilts had come by the shop, visited me a couple of weeks ago, and brought this by. This is something that he had picked up somewhere along the way, and didn't really need it for himself, and thought I might want to have it for my shop, which I absolutely did. So what is this? This is a type of a straight edge. This one is made by the Wilson Precision Scraping Company out of Los Angeles, California. And it is a straight edge. It's not really a camelback straight edge, but it has a flat on the bottom and has a dovetail. You can tell it has been scraped in. I have not checked this to see how flat it is or what have you. But this is awesome for, doing dovetails and stuff when you're scraping in, needing a reference surface to go off of. This is a casting. It's cored out back here on the back, so it's not super heavy. Like a lot of times you'll see, I think they call this a prismatic type straight edge. You can just make it out of a piece of solid cast iron, but in this case, again, it's been cored, so it's not as heavy. All these little holes and stuff in here. You got the two little feet on here so that when it's sitting, you can set it up like that, and you're not keeping it lying on the scraped surfaces, so you don't get that wear. So anyway, very nice straight edge. Got some handles on the end. Next items here come from my friend John Sermons, who I got to see up at the MWTCA Peach Meet the other day up in Madison, Georgia. And this was actually a gift he gave me. Just some stuff he was cleaning out his inventory, and had a bunch of hammer handles, and I've got a bunch of hammer heads that need to be mounted. So anyway, these will be definitely come in handy at some point in time. So most of these are, I think, like a ball peen type hammer handle. And over here, got some nice red Starrett boxes. He had some hole gauges. These, look there, that thing's still wrapped up in the original protective coating. So anyway, some small hole gauges here. And also, this is a wiggler used as a center finder type of a deal. And then these are actually Lufkin, and these are telescoping gauges. So there was a couple of boxes of those. So anyway, some nice tools here. And John, thank you very much. Enjoyed seeing you yesterday and getting to spend a little bit of time with you. So this was a purchase that I picked up, and this is a Greenfield tap and die Little Giant tap and die screw plate set, whatever you want to call it. I really like this one because of the tap handles here and the die handle. If you look, this is the ones that have the case hardened coloring on them. Not all of them had that, or not all of them that remains, but I think that's just cool as can be. So anyway, and it was a pretty complete set. Looks like it's in great shape. I really like this style of dies. And let's see, that's not the same type of die that goes in here, but it is a pretty complete set here. Let's see, these are fine thread. That's a coarse, national coarse. So it looks like a full range there. Of course, comes with the taps down here as well. And if we go down a level to the bottom, got another set in here. And these are a little bit larger ones. And again, got the really nice case hardening on here. There's the tap handle. Man, it looks like it's hardly been used. I mean, this set looks like it's in very, very pristine condition. Still has the original screwdriver in here to adjust these with. So anyway, very nice set, and just couldn't leave it sitting there. I've actually probably already got all these sizes, but I didn't have a double set like this. So anyway, I thought it was pretty neat. This is the number 311 combination set. Pretty cool stuff and very useful. I use these all the time in my shop. So this is pretty cool. This is a set of parallels like you would use on a milling machine to set up stuff, and they've got a bunch of different sets of these, and they got a nice little wooden box to put them in to keep them together. These look like they're all ground and hardened parallels. I think these are mostly custom made ones. FST. I see that on a bunch of them, the letters. But anyway, it was fairly inexpensive, and I got a ton of parallels, but it's one of those things you just can't have enough of when you're setting up parts in your vise and you need a good set of parallels. It's just nice to have a good selection of them, and I thought this little wooden box was a nice little addition to go with them as well. So I picked them up. Nice set of parallels. Next item here, got a whole box full of pulleys and related items. So got a bunch of different step cone pulleys, flat belt pulleys in here. Gentleman had these sitting on the tailgate of his truck, and he told me that he was just trying to clean out stuff, and if I could use these, I could have them. So can't beat that deal. This is the kind of stuff that's always nice to have a box of this kind of stuff, or a drawer full of this kind of stuff for miscellaneous projects you're working on where you just need something real quick to get something up and going, or working on a project. So it's amazing how often I can go dig something like this out, and it kind of saves the day. There's some little bearing holders here. There's one there for holding a shaft for like a counter shaft or something. So anyway, nice little set here, and we'll put them up, and I'll be willing to bet you they save the day somewhere along the line. So can't have too much of this kind of stuff. Big gear puller here. Again, one of those things that you just need them from time to time. This set here is nothing fancy. This is an import set made in Taiwan, but man, I mean, I use these things all the time when I'm tearing into machines, and I didn't have a big one like this. I got a bunch of smaller ones. So again, nice little addition to the collection. I think the guy wanted $20 for it. So, I picked it up, and if I break it, no big deal. But it's an older one. I mean, it's an import, but it's an older one. It looks like looks like it'll hold up pretty well. It doesn't have a lot of wear on the screw in there, so hopefully that'll last me a little while. And up next here, a big box full of all kinds of stuff, mostly spanner wrenches of various types. We got hook spanners, pin spanners. There's a bunch of punches, a bunch of chisels, and some other miscellaneous tools in here as well. Had a guy, he had a big box. I was mostly looking at the spanner wrenches. I'm always looking for spanner wrenches because it seems like I never have the one I need. And I made the comment when I was looking through the box. I said, the problem with these spanner wrenches is that I don't ever remember what I have and what I don't have. And when I come across a bunch of them like this, I don't know which ones I need to get. And his comment back to me was, he says, I don't want to take that box back home with me. He says, how about I make you a deal on the whole box, everything in it? And there was all this stuff in the box. And he threw a price at me, and it was way below the number that I had in my head. And I said, yes, I'll just take them all. So now I need to go through these and figure out what I already have in my collection, what's in here, what's duplicate, and probably get rid of my duplicates. But I've got a nice selection now of spanner wrenches, as well as adding significantly to my punches and chisels over here, plus a couple of other kind of miscellaneous things. This is a neat little bending tool. got a piece of something you need to bend around. That's kind of neat. Not sure what that was for. It hooks over something, probably a bending tool again. I don't know. But little pop rivet gun there. This was some type of tool that was adapted out onto a pair of pliers, a homemade tool for, looks like, grabbing like a flange on maybe some sheet metal or something and bending it. While not a originally made, I can see where that would come in handy from time to time. So anyway, nice collection of tools here, and I'll sort them all out, put them in my cabinet, and we'll have them when we need them. So the last item I picked up at the tool swap meet there was this set of silver and Deming reduced shank drill bits. I went and looked at them. I mean, these are all used drill bits, but what I like is that it's a complete set by 1/64 inch from 1/2 inch up to 1 inch. And I knew that I've got a cabinet over here that I keep mine in, and I've got a bunch of missing sizes that I just never have found. And I knew that this would get me a complete set plus have a bunch left over. And even though these are used bits, I took a quick look at them. They're pretty much all made in USA, and they're all in decent shape. And I do have a drill sharpener that I can sharpen these with if need be. So I'm going to go through and probably pick out the better ones and throw in my cabinet, and then the extra ones I'll probably throw in my pile of stuff to sell, what have you. But this would be a nice little set and nice little tray here. I think that this index that it in is probably not for drill bits, but for transfer punches, because I've got a set of transfer punches in the same range that has an almost identical tray, but it holds drill bits well too. So I don't know. Anyway, nice little set here, fairly reasonably priced. I knew I could fill out my missing holes, and anyway, I went ahead and grabbed it. So next up, I got a really nice set of these books here from Timothy Jones up in Massachusetts. I'm showing you 2 of them. There were 5 banker-sized boxes full of these that he sent down that he had in his collection. He was cleaning out some stuff and thought, again, for the website, might be nice to have. So these are basically there was a company out there that kind of put these together for all the different machinery manufacturers back in the 1970s. And when you open these up, this one here happens to be turning machines, automatics, manuals, and NC numeric control lathes or what have you. But let's take a look what we got here. So if you go in here, they have all the different company names. And we can go through here and find Monarch, one of my favorites. And basically what they have here is their sales literature on their different machines that they had in their inventory at that time. And these are basically black and white photocopies of the sales brochures. They're not the originals in many cases, but it's a good representation of what was available at the time. Just pick another one here, Pratt & Whitney. So you can kind of see what all they had available at the time. Kind of turn this up a little bit, maybe we can see a little bit better. Their sales brochures. So again, at some point, there's a lot of stuff in here, and at some point in time, I'd like to get all this scanned and put up on the website. I imagine some of this is already there, but at least at a snapshot in time. And again, I think these date from the early 1970s. It gives you a good idea of the stuff that was available in the machine world. Here's this one here is turret lathes and horizontal and vertical. So, like I said, there's boxes of these that I've got for all kinds of different types of metalworking machinery. Really cool set, and one of these days, man, I'm way behind on my scanning and I keep getting farther behind when I get stuff like this, but we'll try to get all this stuff uploaded and up on the site. Well, there we go, guys. I think that's going to conclude another Odds and Ends episode. I will just briefly mention my health situation, continuing to improve, getting over my surgery just fine, more or less back to normal now. I probably still got a little bit of recovery to go as far as being back at 100%, but hey, I'm up pretty darn close to it and getting better every day. So, back at it out here in the shop, but no major concerns there at all. But just wanted to kind of give you guys a quick update on that. Hope to see some of you guys at some of these upcoming events that we mentioned earlier before. And with that, guys, I think we will sign off. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Those thumbs up and comments greatly appreciated. Big, huge thank you to the guys who support the site through Patreon and PayPal, etc. Like I have said over and over again, we could not do everything we do without you guys, and your help is greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And with that, guys, we are going to sign off. We will catch you on the next video. Again, thanks for watching.